Stream should be live. Hopefully the sound's up. I'm going to check out the volume here in a second. First, you gotta jump on and rename the stream. I'm running a little behind. I don't know why the stream stopped for a second. What's up, Jerem? Okay. There we go. All right. Chat's over here. I was going to check out the monitor. Check, check. Am I getting a monitor here? Can't hear anything. Check. Huh. All right. So I figured we'd do some storyboarding again. Cheers. Drinking wine. Been watching Game of Thrones. I'm actually watching a lot of different, paying attention to the shots. And certain episodes have really good direction. Some of them are a little weird. Some of them I'm not really. We'll just say that not all of it's great cinematography. All right. I don't know why my iPad is not popping up. There we go. Finally. Sorry, guys. I had my whole desktop set up for Italian because I'm learning Italian. And I recently switched it back, and every time you do, the naming conventions for everything change, obviously. So, again, everything was a little off. Anyway, let's do some of this. I have a couple different things coming up in the works, storyboard wise, but I don't have anything like advertising wise, I'd like to do like an ad, a commercial type advertisement board. And so I've been thinking about what to do, kind of brainstorming. So that's kind of what I want to brainstorm here a little bit. Um, and I'm just going to list out a few things and some cool ideas. Um, this is kind of how generally like I work. Just want to figure out exactly what I want to do in the scheme of things here. So when I think of a cool ad, what kind of stuff comes to mind is the question. Um, Recently, Tesla had a good commercial, and it was pretty inspirational. Um, you know, uh, or maybe it was for SpaceX, one of the two, but it was good. And then there was always been a fan of the Johnny Walker commercials, but I just want to go through subject matter, not necessarily what I like. What I was thinking about before was I'd like to do either like a beer commercial, kind of like trying to sell like a more mainstream beer as like a craft beer. So like let's just say we want to try to sell um, something like I don't know. It's a good crafty or not crafty beer that I could try to transform, not rebrand, but you know what I mean, kind of like make it seem more crafty. Anyway, I'm just gonna write craft transformation, and then I have this image, series of images anyway, of what I'd like to do for like a truck commercial, like because there's obviously I can do a truck. I'd like to do like a truck commercial where it's kind of a little more sentimental. I kind of want like a father-daughter kind of commercial. And then if I do like a car, it'd be cool just to do like a random cool, um, kind of like a sports car commercial. Those are always probably fun. Um, so out of those, I'm not really sure. I'm trying to think of any more ideas I have. Just in general, I'm just trying to think in general, what do I want to put down? Like what's going to really be something I want to put some time into, you know? Um, could do something wacky. And that's something I don't normally do. Just go full kind of weird with it. And that would be cool to do for like, say like, there's two different kinds of brands that do this. You know, Old Spice does these like weird commercials. Um, they're just weird. You know, you've seen them, but there's other brands like in. I would consider it the Old Spice. Almost spelled it wrong there. Old Spice weird. Is that how you spell it? I'm going crazy. Um, hmm. It would just be cool to see like a random mix of things. So It shouldn't be long, and I haven't done an ad type set of boards before. Pretty much the reason why I'm doing it. Um, yeah, that's right. Old Spice weird. I have coined I've coined it before, but using Japanese weird. I'm sure somebody said it before, but I know Japanese. The Japanese are a little weird to American standards. So and the things they like. So I usually coin it that way. But yeah, I think Old Spice weird is just as good. So it would be cool to do an Old Spice weird commercial because I would be able to do whatever I wanted and come, think out of the box. Um, and I might come back to that, but I want something straightforward, and um, I think I want to do with this this truck commercial. One, because I like to draw cars and trucks, and two, I think this like the family element would be cool to have the truck thing going on. Um, but then again, it would really be cool to do this beer transformation. All right, let me just think of a couple beers, and then I'll move on here. Um, no, no. Okay. So obviously, there's the big ones, which I literally could take one, like take Budweiser, and try to make Budweiser have a crafty feeling commercial, which I'm sure they've done before. I haven't looked them up, um, but is that you, Jedi Joshua? I just swiped it without looking. Ah, um, maybe it was, but let's see. Um, Trying to think of something like semi super famous, but not Bud, Coors, Miller. Um, Maybe like Yingling, because Yingling is kind of like popular. I don't know if you guys know beer. Anyway, um, so here I'm just gonna kind of brainstorm a second and write some things. So let's just say I do Yingling. First of all, I need to figure out how to spell that. I'm gonna look it up. I don't really need to know, but just for future. I know it's weird. Okay, it's U N Ling. There you go. Yun Ling. Does this thing rotate anymore? Yuan Ling. Yo, what's up, Jedi? Yeah, you sent me. I'm pretty sure I spotted it before I swiped away. Um, I don't want to. Should pop in here any second. What did you send it to? Huh. Oh, you're sending it to that email. Okay. Definitely feels better. It's got an interesting feel, but you can very much tell the body wouldn't be able to turn that way. However, if you want to keep going with it, I'd say that pose is, um, like I said, structurally it seems like it's a little pushed, like before. Um, you'd have to pull that arm around, even though you probably like how the arms are. It's very square. The arms are set up very square, so it feels, if you tilted the whole thing, the arms like they're like this. If you set them at a diagonal, I'll draw it instead. So his pose is like this right now. And that's his head, face. If you rotated the arms this way, that would make it more structurally sound. So like you'd have a diagonal on the page. If this is your page, the arms would make the diagonal and the feet would stay the same. But that's what I would say on that one. All right, gotta get back to brainstorming. Gotta keep the brain in gear. Let's see. All right, we'll just call this the craft jingling ideas here. All right, so it's obviously a beer commercial. And when you think craft, what's the cool, like, warm feelings that I want to get out of, like, what are the feelings that I want out of, like, a craft beer commercial? Um, Personally, um, for this kind of stuff, I'd want it to be cold. So, cold weather. I don't think it's a Corona type commercial where it's chilling out. I think it's more cold weather. Um, I think it's like making friends. Some ideas that you could throw in here: making friends, or it could go the opposite, where you're super alone and isolated. But yeah, craft Yingling should be associated with. I mean, it's the same beer. The whole idea is that we just wanted to make the buyers feel like it's more crafty. Um, um, the question is, what type of people do you want the audience to make them feel like? Um, what do you want them to think of themselves as when they watch the commercial? And like I said, these things are cool. Maybe caring in some way. Caring about uh, whatever. It could be family or something like that. Um, yeah, it's exclusivity for sure. But we don't want it to be on the nose because then it becomes snobby. You know what I mean? You want it to be exclusive without it coming off that way. But you're definitely right. So, how do you show exclusivity? So maybe that could mean like, normally though it'd mean, if we were selling vodka, it would mean you get into, like, you get VIP club access. But if we're selling craft beers, that might mean Yeah, maybe. I like that connection. I also like potentially getting invited to a like along the same lines of a party. So like kind of like a speakeasy type party. For sure. I do like that though, Mega Man. Um, hmm. I'm gonna put that down either way. New experiences, because that could be associated with, like you said, with making friends, or that could mean, like we said, um, like hidden party, hidden. We'll just say hidden party, just so I know what it means. Um, when I'm thinking about caring for the fam, I think of or caring for friends. It could mean, you know, dropping off like a care package for like an old family member, or um, it doesn't have to be a family member. It could be just like an old dude. This, whoever the main character of the story of the commercial is, maybe he drops off a care package um, to like just a dude he knows that is maybe not doing so great. Um, Obviously, it could go in many directions. So it's kind of like I'm trying to think of what would somebody at Yingling want. To me, the beer was always about low key parties, low key people, but we always knew it was the better beer to go with. Um, it's like the go to beer for smart people. And that sounds a little derogatory to some people, but that's kind of what you want to give, like this exclusivity, like you said. Um, so the only thing we're missing here is really making friends. Could be slash girl boy interest. That's another exclusivity in its own. Having an interest from a girl or boy depends who we're going with. Generally, it's going to be a dude because dudes drink beer. You know what I mean? So, do you think if I change one arm, the top, it'll be fun? Do you think they both have to change? I think they. You got to think the body, Jedi. You got to think of the body like as a whole. And I think you moving arms and legs around without thinking of it as a whole is a problem. So right now, like I said, this is your dude, and his arms are like this, right? If you did turn the arm without doing the other arm, it would look a little weird. Instead, having the torso kind of move with it a little bit, like the head stays the same, but the torso moves slightly, and so does the arms. And that's going to give you this diagonal kind of form. Like if this is your page you're drawing on, it's given this diagonal, and that's going to be way better than these parallel lines to the page. If you end up with what I had in the beginning, like what you have now, which is these two arms that are kind of coming down and out, um, that's parallel to the page. I know this is super rough, but if that's your dude and there's his arms, it's parallel to the page, and that makes for a static thing. So I think you should move as much as you want to, but in this case, I would move both. Okay, so uh, anything else, Jeremy? You listen to this because you have any ideas for a Kraft Yingling commercial? Um, before, because I'm going to take some of these ideas and form them into like a few scenarios. Perhaps if you specify the smarter people drink it thing to make it more of an enlightening experience than desire to go outside their comfort zone or something of that sort. Hmm. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. It could be as simple as like a one shot looking. I don't know how far I want to push that smarter people idea. We can mark it. I'm going to mark it down because obviously it's an idea, which I like. But how much do you push it? You know what I mean? Because that could. Do we want it really to be like people that play chess drink Yingling? I don't think that's the case. Um, it's more. You're right. It's more about the desire to go outside their comfort zone. So for if we do, let's go timeline here. All right, timeline. It could be. Um, uh, I don't know what it would be. The way I think about it is like the three act structure. Like Act One is um, before beer. uh, Obviously, getting beer, and then after beer, right? That's the change. So it could be. Do you think it'd be okay if I just leave it as is and render it? Because I feel like I should just keep it and move on, learn from the mistake. I pretty much have to erase the whole thing. Maybe. I know you spend a lot of time on trying to get things right. I know how it is. Um, Now, here's the thing. You're gonna learn no matter what, right? Except, um, what I would do is if you just want to have that itch to render what you got, Jedi, render what you got. That's fine. But what I would do is on a new sheet of paper, do give a rough, better iteration of it just to feel it out. Otherwise, you're not going to learn really. Me telling you, I think you should change it is one thing, but you like experimenting with changing the figure later on is better. So maybe get a new sheet of paper, trace the outline you have on a new sheet of paper, and then make the change because you might learn from that. Okay, so like I said, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Um, so, before beer, I think is working, right? He could be blue collar. He could be college. Almost spelled college wrong, and I did go to college. It could be blue collar college. I don't know if I want to go. We want to keep it young, obviously. Um, it could be something not necessarily blue collar, but if we're talking about smart people, it could be like an intern type situation, like a go-getter type of position. Like he's still struggling, like a struggling intern. Okay. Act two is um, meet friends. Um, is that it's definitely going to include a girl. It's definitely going to include in a weird situation, maybe accidental. Um, should include maybe a hesitance, maybe, and then cold weather meets hidden party. Okay. Act three is the closer. This is where we really sell it. um, I mean, the catalyst, which would be around here, is where this is girl with beer. Um, first thing we see is him leaving work or something, right? Then doing the family thing, and then stumbles into girl and friends with beer. Um, obviously hesitance, and then look, Jedi, it's all your choice, man. You have a lot of time to work on the skills, um, and the way you learn faster is to do, as I said, like do your one pass, which you kind of want to flesh out, but then afterward go back and try to see what you could fix. Um, the details are it's iffy. Depends on if you're gonna fix it, go for it. But like I said, just if you want to render it out, go for it. Um, I would say go to a new sheet of paper if you want to try to fix things. That way you have both. Okay, so what am I missing here? Okay. Hen party, which leads to I think the middle of the commercial. And then at the end is this new experience thing. I'm not sure what that would be. We'd have to think about it. I think he would. What the hell? I think it maybe should be. Um, Probably girl resolution, which would mean, hmm, I'm thinking this could be like a failed attempt at something, and then this is girl still respects. I'm gonna write it over here too. Girl, I'm just gonna write respect. What happens after that? It could go either way. It could be like they leave a bustling party, or like a loud party, and they go do their own thing, which is get more yingling. And maybe she can lead him to leads him to isolated, maybe like a aurora borealis thing. You know what I mean? That they do their own. They watch it, drink the yingling. Um, Not so sure about the failed attempt. I don't think it really needs that. It's something cool because it makes it very down to earth. However, it'd be cool in the commercial for him to like the new experiences. I don't know, playing acoustic guitar or something. I don't know about acoustic guitar, but him doing something that he does well. Um, it would be really cool if that tied back to the beginning, though. Like, what if the thing he does at the intern that he's sucking at, isolated this thing in the beginning is a failure, but some for some reason it applies to what he's got to do at the end. Now that's a cool little bit of writing if I can figure that out. Um, in this situation, I don't think the fam thing works with it. Seems like it's just a random, unless it would be cool because it could be the trigger for the girl to like see him, catch him doing a nice thing. Hmm. Okay. It's not bad. It's not a bad brainstorm for sure. Freehand, freehand. Okay. I'm going to try to figure out this tie-in, this thing at the bottom, this tie-in to the first act. So as an intern, what does one do? I mean, besides all the regular stuff like errands, coffee, uh, um, but they also solve like the brunt work, right? Is it grunt or brunt work? Anybody know? All right. Uh, what does it really mean though? I'm an artist. I'm just thinking of it in an artist term. So I'm thinking like in a graphic design firm, they would be doing these two things. They would be doing like cleanup work on the designs, or maybe he's just playing with shapes on paper. It's not bad. Hmm. I think he's trying to solve a design problem. And as I'm thinking of that I'm thinking of another scenario, another timeline, really, um, which I can make underneath here if I get rid of this. Okay. So an alternate is something a little bit more indie. Oh, I can do this. What am I doing? There we go. So maybe something like no, did not get hired by Yingling, but I do want to have a an ad, um, an ad commercial type storyboard in my portfolio. So I came with the idea to make it's just a cool design um, challenge to like let's just take something that's a popular brand that you know is not known for something and make it into that something. So um, anyway, here the second idea is a lot of the same things. So in this one, I think it'd be blue collar job. Um, Maybe the fam thing. Who knows? Where he goes, helps out a fam, and then rushes over to um, rushes over to what he wants to do. I think it's maybe like a guy's house in his basement, but it's a cool basement, and he's got like a podcast studio set up. That'd be cool. And he does like podcasting on the side. So he's got a podcast, and his best buds have besties have beer, and the podcast is I don't know. Let's figure that out. Podcast. So, some podcast ideas. Hmm. Thinking something cool, like intellectual. There we go. MAGA. Mega Man. It's intellectual. It could be like history, a history podcast, or um, oh, what's your next project, man? Um, it's another intellectual endeavor. History. Um, we can even throw like music history in there, something like that. It's like weird. They could be like musicians as well. Um, Star Wars podcast. Well, thing is, I can't do Star Wars because of you don't want to have you have to buy the rights for that. Remember, this is another company using that. Um, and I want it to be intellectual, on the nose, intellectual. So, like obviously, history seems very much like that. Um, I mean, I could literally just do it about um, something, because like managing baseball is very hard, sciencey in a way. Could be like sports or baseball. I don't know why I'm thinking baseball, but I don't think I know enough about the science of that to like really even fake it. I'd have to research. Um, hmm. Like geology or something. That'd be weird, right? Or it could be something fun. That's why I think music history is a good one because it's like combines fun and intellectual type stuff. Oh, nice. Very cool. Um, and a speeder bike, I would look up poses of like people standing next to their motorcycles and stuff like that and go with something like that. Or you can do something more interesting where maybe it's docked or something in some weird way, or him working on it, like mechanic style. That'd be cool. Um, yeah, we need pretty much we need like a sexy-ish type of subject for this podcast. Oh man, that might be genius. What if their podcast is about craft beers? So if it's about craft beers, then it will show that even though they know about all the good, the best indie craft beers, that they still drink Yingling while they're doing the podcast, which is kind of like I don't know if they'll look down upon that or if that's like the coolest idea ever. I don't think I think it's a good idea. It's either music history or that for sure. Anyway, best buds with beer. Um, so this is Act Two. Act One, Act Two. Okay, so they talk about beers. Maybe they have their own thing. So they're done doing that. Um, Laughing, fun times. Uh, the change needs to happen. But this one, I don't have an ending. Yeah, he does. Um, hmm. Blue collar job, goes do the nice thing for the family, finds friends, doing the podcast either about beer or music history, but it seems like it'd be fun if it was about beer. Um, where does he go from there? That's the only problem with this one. Oh, good. It's coming in just in time. Let me see here. Podcast to what? Transition to garage party, maybe? and all I can write is girls at the end. I feel like it's a good close for anything. Um, Beer and girls. It's a little on the nose with that sort of ending. Okay. I like the second one. It's more straightforward. Um, but I do want to figure out what could happen before, for my first idea, what could be happening at his job that he figures out toward the end. Now, what I think it should be is a similar shot, like desk with the missing logo, and then maybe a similar shot, maybe the moon or something, with this aurora thing looking cool around the moon. I don't know if that's even how it works at the end. How do I tie those together though? Bam. I think I like the second one better just because it's more, or rather less rom-commy. I just don't want to default to that. Okay. I just need a new page to figure this out. Okay. So this is what we call a beat sheet. And I kind of did it on the timeline a little bit, but we need to break it down even more. I need to save this as something here. Okay. All right. The beats we need are definitely his blue collar job could be working at a micro brew type place. don't mind that. Okay. That means he kind of enjoys it. I'd maybe rather have it the other way. Or maybe he's got like a... leading blue collar job. That could mean might be cooler just to have him sneak out of the blue collar job. Like Ferris Bueller out of there. Yep. Maybe he's in a rush because he's got to get there to... wherever he's going to go in time. The podcast. Let's see. Just kind of a check watch. Check watch. Speeds through. Speeds through neighborhood. Dude, neighborhood's such a weird word. It's like I feel like there's a lot of words like that. It's I feel like German or something. Anyway, stinks out job, speeds, checks watch, speeds through neighborhood. Um, sees sees old man. I'm gonna say he's homeless. And then like a reaction shot. I don't know if we need anything else. Let's check this again. I said I'm going to the fan, but I'm changing that to the old man. So now it's podcast. Pulls up to the house. Hmm. All right, friends rush him in. They open a cold Yingling. Podcast table with mics. And a sign with the name of the podcast on there. So this is where we either do, if it's a brewery, then we do that, or it could be uh, a beer podcast. Um, let's show some laughter. Act three, I think we're gonna what would we say? Girls. That's all I wrote down. Garage party. So I think it's girls show up. Transition to garage. Has fun time. Slash girl is interested. He breaks away. For a moment. Gives old man, or no, maybe grabs a beer. Grabs a Yingling. I don't know if you should stay there or go back. At the very least, it's a reaction. Um, and then maybe party continues. So right there we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, 21 shots. Maybe more because of transitioning. It's 21 beats. Hmm. Not sure. All right. I'm going to switch up the music here. Hmm. All right. I want to put in Yingling. Okay. Sneaking out of a job. Hmm. Hmm. I think the watch is maybe going to be redundant if I do it more than once, so maybe I'll do it this way. The thumb's going to be on that side. All right, phone. This could be on the phone as well, but it might be reading better as a text. Let's see. Let's check the beat sheet. Sneak out of job. Other way. Worst car ever. If they have ever drawn it worse. Let's see. If we put a box in there, it'd been better. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. This is why the beat sheet's helpful, and you can always go back. That's Act 1. He gets to the house at this point. Hmm. Yeah, it's supposed to be a running guy. It's 10 o'clock, guys. Time flies when you jump into this stuff. Um, really enjoying this Yingling craft commercial. So weird. Anyway, we'll work on it. Little bits and pieces here and there. Want to get it done soon enough, but I'm gonna do some research as well. They'll probably inform what I want to do. Anyway, thanks for showing up, everybody. Jedi, good luck with the new stuff and the pose. And thanks for showing up, Maga Man. Thanks for the input. It's awesome. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll do probably about the same thing. Hopefully I have some new research to inform some more decisions. Anyway, so long. See you tomorrow.